What's up, guys? Welcome to a little something that we're kind of just trying out here. I'm here with Jake and Justin. You guys would recognize probably both of them from former videos, if not, some of the Twitch streams, or they've definitely both been in a few YouTube videos. So we are all, fans of wrestling, of the WWE variety, and we like to kind of sit and have a lot of talks and discussions about it because we're all very much into storylines and writing stories, and Jake and I have a theater background. So, obviously, we're not guys that are, die hard like, oh, no, it's all of it's true. Like, yeah, we know it's a performance, but, performance by guys who do some really crazy shit. We wanted to kind of have a little bit of a podcast and prediction type thing for the Royal Rumble, which is happening tonight when we're having this. It is 4:57 on the 27th of January, 2024. And we kind of just wanted to go through and talk a little bit about each of the matches and talk about what we think is going to happen coming up, because this is probably, I'd say, the biggest year WWE has had in a while.
A long time.
With everything that's happening and Triple H taking over full power and everything, it's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah, that regime change is
huge. It's going to be massive. So, it'll be interesting going forward. I mean, the past couple pay-per-views have been kind of nuts with CM Punk returning as well as Randy Orton. And leading into WrestleMania, it's going to be exciting. Again, a little bit of a... All right, so... let's just... Jake wanted to start out by just running through the match cards for tonight, like in the order in which everything is happening. So, do you want to go ahead and give a run through of that?
Yeah, so from what I understood, and I could be wrong about this, is that they're going to start off with the Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
I don't have as much to say about the Women's Rumble, but I do have a lot to say about how they've been building up the Rumble.
Yeah, I agree. And the men's will definitely be the last one.
Yeah, and it's kind of bad for Roman Reigns, I guess, in my opinion, because him not being the main eventer is just kind of push him down just a hair.
Yeah, and
I think they realize, Roman Reigns' box office is just a matter of everyone kind of knows he's still going to retain.
Oh, yeah.
They would not put something in the last spot. I know for a fact, it's going to be the men's rumble. They would only put that in the last spot if something major was going to happen.
That's what I'm saying. It's I was kind of saying to Jake earlier, he had mentioned that I guess I kind of had it in my head that four-way match was going to be the last one. But having it, I guess, having the Rumble be the closing, they're not going to have any big title change happen in the middle of a show and then continue on, because nobody will care about the other matches at that point.
And it also gives the guys in the Fatal 4-Way the chance to say steal a spot from somebody on.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what Jake brought up too. Is that gives a chance for LA Knight or AJ Styles to come into the Rumble and try to do something there.
No, they're gonna build that up.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, so Women's Rumble. Then Kevin Owens versus
United States Championship.
Logan Paul, United States Championship, undisputed 4-way, AJ Styles, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, and LA Knight, and then the Men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah, Men's Rumble.
Okay, so starting out with the women's, we'll go in order and talk about each kind of thing. What are your thoughts on the women's?
My thoughts on the women is I've made my decision on who I think is gonna win this, and it's gonna be Becky Lynch. And my reasoning for this is because for the longest time, months and months ago, they had one interaction with Rhea Ripley and just Becky crossing paths.
Yeah,
and then they never touched it. And this is kind of very consistent with Triple H's booking. It's he likes long-term storytelling, and so what he'll do is he'll have them cross paths occasionally throughout the year, but never get real into it. And they've purposely kept Becky out of Rhea's way, going as far to send her down to NXT and win the NXT Women's title.
That is true. Because again, semi-recently, they did just meet up in the ring and kind of talk a little. But, I know it brought a big stir up in the internet for, the bigger wrestling fans because they had said, everybody's like waiting for that to happen because they're the two like big faces of the women's division. That kind of is like a need to happen type thing eventually.
Yeah, and Charlotte Flair is like, I'm pretty sure tore her ACL or something.
Yeah, pretty
like
serious. Yeah, I think she's out for a bit. Unfortunately,
I'm a big fan of Becky Lynch. I think she does such great work in the ring. She has great promos. Like I personally root for Becky Lynch when she's on because she does the work. She puts it in. She's gets the job done. She is the man.
Yeah, I will have trouble like kind of picking a side if they do end up facing each other because I love what Rhea Ripley's done as well. Being a definite heel but still getting like crazy pops every time she comes out. Like people.
Oh well, she like leans into it.
Yeah,
mommy's on top and engages with people on Twitter. Like it's like it's all over the place. Like people go nuts for Rhea, and it's very hard to picture her losing. If she would lose to anyone, it would be Becky.
Yeah.
But, like, at that point, it's like, who do you have her even drop the title to after that?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so another viewpoint of this Rumble thing. I agree with the Becky and Rhea thing. I think they'll be in the final, 5 or 6, and it'll be the dramatic, ending or whatever. But also, into consideration, there's that whole, Bayley and the damage control.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
Bayley's been slowly falling out. This is the chance for the storyline to let her turn face and take the title off of Io Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing reports of that, and I don't think there's just looking at it. They have been really building that up with her in her matches. They just refused to help her in that one match.
Right.
They went the ref was looking, and
yeah.
there are 4 of them.
Yeah,
you couldn't distract the ref and help her. No, they've been purposely building up they're going to turn on her.
Mm.
It's just a matter of when, and I don't think Bayley's winning it. I think what they're going to do with Bayley is going to get eliminated, but people from Damage Control are going to have the opportunity to help her, and they're not going to do it.
Or they straight up they turn on her here and they eliminate her.
Yeah, it's going to be something like that.
So I could see it being Bayley, Asuka, and Becky Lynch in the final 3.
Yeah.
Becky puts Asuka over the rope but onto the apron, and instead of helping Asuka, Bayley knocks her off, and then Becky dumps Bayley.
Oh, so you think you're kind of seeing Bayley's the one that's going to actively be the one to turn?
Yeah, I think the way that they've been slow building her in the fallout of Damage Control, even though she pretty much started it, I think she's going to be the one that turns face and just eliminates the rest of Damage Control. Now, the question is, she's going to need backup because once they get to WrestleMania, I'm assuming it's going to be something of a grudge match where she's going to need backup. I don't know who they're going to bring in for that, but...
Oh, it's going to be that classic hodgepodge that they do with the women's division by just throwing together random faces on one team versus
probably
what they've done in the past. Remember what they did with the during Survivor Series with that chamber match? They had Damage Control, and then they just threw Bianca, Charlotte, and all of them together. And
it felt pretty detached.
It was pretty just thrown together.
Yeah.
So if they did do something like that, it would just be them being thrown together.
True. Okay, now, being the Women's Rumble is how many people? 40? 30, okay. Still, I don't think I can name 30 that have been super involved lately. So there are most likely going to be some ones that we haven't seen for a bit.
They're going to be bringing up NXT for sure.
Okay, that's what.
They're going to the Rumble for both the men and the women are going to be opportunities for them to just expose NXT talent.
Yes, 100%. So these aren't all NXT, but I have some names that we're getting.
You've also got some confirmed entrants on the screen there.
Yes, we do have confirmed entrances. That's a good point. Let's go through that. So confirmed entrances: Bayley, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupree, Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile, I caught a glimpse of her last match.
Yeah, I don't know.
She looks solid.
As much about her. Shotzi, Zelina Vega,
Alba Fire, and Mishin.
Yeah.
I wish they would do more with Mishin. I honestly do.
Yeah, yeah.
They started the whole like Bullet Club versus, but they never actually really finished it. Finished it properly, I should say.
Yeah. Okay, so now let me throw some names that have been kind of bouncing around on different places in the internet. Again, do I think all these are 100% confirmed? No, but it's interesting to bring up. Sonya Deville.
She's been inactive for what?
A hot minute.
3 months.
It's been a while.
It's been a good bit for her. They don't. I mean, I see Sonya Deville, and I don't really take Sonya seriously in the slightest.
No, but it could be a chance for her to make a comeback and kind of be an exciting, like, oh
yeah. If used properly, like your first 30 seconds to a minute in the Rumble match are used to more or less showcase yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Like even going back to any of the CM Punk interviews I've seen is CM Punk will be like, anytime he's talked to guys, he go no, this is your time. You come in, you.
I remember the Cody Rhodes interview where he talked about CM Punk coming up to him and be like, "Hey, we can do this, this, and this because this is your time. This is where you got to showcase."
Mm-hmm. So I really feel like it's good for these NXT call-ups that are coming up. That's where WWE is going to be make sure your NXT because and they've been really focused on bringing up their NXT guys.
True.
The Creed brothers, they had a title match within the first month that they caught month and a half that
and they looked super solid in tournaments.
Yeah.
They won 3 matches in a row against maybe Alpha Academy.
Yeah. Taking out big names.
They're taking out big names. So I know they're not on the card, but once we get to the Men's Royal Rumble, I don't see them not being on
right. I would agree.
As far as women's, I think of Nikita Lyons.
Ooh, yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I've been less invested in the women's just because WWE doesn't put as much into that division.
Triple H has been doing better with it.
Yes.
He's been doing better.
Yeah.
I'm paying more attention than I usually do.
Yeah.
It is tough though. I will admit, and it's not just the classic. Well, they're women; they're just there to no, because they really, since the whole women's rise thing, it was kind of carried by I want to say Becky Lynch kind of carried, but the four horsewomen. There was a huge, massive change, and I loved that because to me it was just a lot more okay, these are just kind of breaks. Honestly, but now that they're I actually do care about the women's matches and watching them. I enjoy watching them, and it is starting to get back there. But I think a lot of the bigger names needed step backs for some of the smaller names to kind of start their own story enough to be level with them.
Oh yeah, I mean they had when Becky won the NXT championship, she held it for a month maybe.
Yeah,
she dropped the title and she put someone over.
Yeah.
So there's been a little bit more of a concise. I'm using even the right word. There's been a motivated effort to just more put that division out there than there has been in the past.
Yes.
The women's tag titles. Yes, I would say at this point, if you did away with them. I wouldn't even notice, but they have been having some NXT call-ups from the women's division that want those titles.
Yeah, and I hope that if they're going to keep those NXT titles or the tag titles, women's tag titles around, that they have somebody from NXT come up and make them important. Because right now, there aren't even enough just women's tag. There are full teams Damage Control, but there's not enough just.
No, they've got Asuka and
Kairi Sane.
But then who else, right?
The current champions are Katana Chance and Aiden Carter.
Yeah, I remember seeing a match with between Asuka and Kairi Sane versus them. The match looked pretty good. I was really happy with it.
Yeah,
they're definitely building it up. Bit by bit.
Yeah.
The closer these NXT call-ups from the women's division, the closer they get to being called up, the stronger that women's tag division is going to get.
True.
Until that happens, I don't see it being like anywhere near being like even top mid card tier.
Yeah.
Once they come about, like it's just they're gonna hit the ground running.
Yeah, I would agree.
And you also got to consider that the women's division only have the tag titles and then the women's title.
Both women's titles.
Yeah, women's titles. So they don't have like a mid card title. Like
Yeah,
IC
true.
Championship and the U.S. title. So they're kind of the only way for women to gain a little bit more relevance in the WWE is to push those tag titles.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, another name thrown out here, Naomi.
Naomi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been.
I didn't even think she was still on the roster.
She wasn't.
She wasn't.
They walked out.
Again, I mean, could be a chance for come back. I don't know. You know, because we're having a lot of people who, like, we haven't seen him forever. Like, kind of, I mean, Punk being obviously the main one of the, you know, like, what? But, that's just another name that was getting thrown around the internet. Yeah, I don't know why that's getting thrown around. I don't know if there were things that brought up rumors or anything. This next name, I know there are reasons behind it. AJ Lee.
Yeah, there's reasons behind it.
Oh, there's
one because
reasons
obviously because Punk has come back and they're married in real life, but there were like pictures that got leaked of her training in a ring recently, which is like.
I didn't see those.
Yeah, I think
like
that's
to see those.
And again, that could just be them, you know, playing with the rumor, like really pushing it up. But I don't know.
They are good at pushing rumors around because you remember how long it took Becky Lynch's rumors to come back after she came back from her pregnancy.
Yeah, true.
She was at the shows and all that. But
they really like building. They really like building.
If they're gonna build up AJ Lee, I feel like it's for WrestleMania.
That could be true too. Again, though,
but I don't think it's gonna be for the Royal Rumble.
No, I mean,
in my opinion, I just think whoever wins the Royal Rumble is gonna challenge their champion that they're going after. But you have the opportunity to bring AJ
probably
Lee.
Rhea.
Well,
It's going to be...
Does CM Punk have a brand right now?
CM Punk is
he like free agent?
CM Punk's mainly been on... I think he's signed with
he's
Raw.
He's
signed with Raw.
So Raw is Io Sky, right?
No, Raw's Ripley.
Raw's Ripley. I always get them back towards which one. But, okay, so Ripley, I could see them doing AJ Lee versus Rhea Ripley and WrestleMania. If they really wanted to hype up,
that would be huge, and I feel like that would
push the storyline further with Bayley going after Io Sky. Damage.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, if they're doing that Becky Lynch thing that they're hinting at, they're gonna go one direction. If Becky wins it, the Becky versus Rhea thing is like a go for sure.
Yep, and if Bayley wins it, it's Bayley versus.
Yeah, that's tough.
They're the favorites. Like,
oh, for sure. They're just the best at selling everything. Like their promos and just everything about their characters. Like it just you want to cheer or boo them, or you know they're so good at. Not that the other people aren't good. They're all great at what they do, but. There are definitely their shining stars and the ones that are still learning as they're coming up. One last name, I really don't know about this one, but the CM Punk has opened the floodgates for stuff. You know, again, when CM Punk returned, that wasn't talked about. Like most, there were not many people that knew. Including like the people in the match that had just happened didn't even know that was going to happen. Sasha Banks.
I could see Sasha Banks.
Depends if she's still locked in her contract with AEW.
That's the thing. I don't think she's officially signed to AEW yet, but that is where she was like going, right? Like,
and if that would be the case, that would also push Bayley towards face if Sasha comes back face.
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking too. It is interesting to think about and kind of just have that out there. I don't know about that one because she was pretty set AEW. She's also talked a lot of trash on WWE. I mean, so did Punk, but
So did everybody that leaves the company.
yeah, pretty much. Except Edge hasn't really. He said like he was happy with everything. He just wanted to wrestle with Christian.
Yeah. To push your thought of women's tag titles further, do we know the status on Liv Morgan?
I could see Liv Morgan coming back for this Rumble.
Well, that was legal trouble, right?
Yeah, but they if anything, it was like a misdemeanor. Like it was like a really low.
But,
I would love that.
But what I'm saying is, you could bring her back and restart her and Raquel going for the tags.
Yeah,
yeah,
and that could really ignite something in the tag team division. And she also has the ability to stand on both her own 2 feet. I wish Raquel could, because Raquel has the potential to take it to the next level. She just hasn't been pushed.
I've seen Raquel do well in the ring. What the thing with Raquel is, like, I've seen Raquel on the mic, and I was never thrilled with her mic work.
Yeah, that's fair.
Bringing Liv Morgan back would be best for Raquel. And Liv Morgan, obviously, because you push the tag titles.
Yeah, I agree.
What about Alexa Bliss?
She was just spotted in Disney World with her daughter.
So that's probably a no.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's more on maternity leave at this point in time. Granted, I would love to see Alexa Bliss.
Oh yeah, let her come back. I would love to see her come back. She's so fun to watch, especially when she turned dark.
Yeah, that was cool.
Her character development was so, kept you invested.
Yeah, right. I'd be cool with any of any of those names we mentioned coming back would. I'd be excited. I'd be freaking hyped. All right. Next match, Logan Paul versus Kevin Owens. What are you thinking here? Listen, I personally am I've never been a huge fan of Logan Paul as a dude, but I can't say that I don't respect the crap out of him for everything he's done. He definitely did a full 360 from where he was earlier days on YouTube of really making some poor decisions, but he's really turned it around. He seems to be a super mature, pretty level-headed dude. He gone crazy with his boxing career. He's gone, it's impressive what he's done. Is insane. That being said, I think him as a WWE superstar, great call. I think he is great at it, which I don't think is confusing that he's great at it. I think being a YouTuber and talking to a camera so often, I think a lot of that's natural for him. And then with all his training for his boxing and all that, now he has both. He's great at talking, he's great at playing it up. Every time I see him do a promo, even if it's, they haven't really had him in arena as much lately. It's been kind of like videos. That he's just been we have a video from Logan Paul here. He just nails it. I'm watching it, I'm like, yeah, man, he's just got it. He doesn't feel like a new wrestler or just like a YouTuber that became a wrestler. He feels like somebody who's been working at this craft for a long time. Now, that being said, there was a video leaked in the Performance Center, where they practice and stuff, of Kevin Owens was walking out, and Logan was yelling stuff at him, yeah, just walk away, that's fine. And he throws a water at him, and they get into this big brawl where tons of people jump on them and stuff. Do I think that was real? No,
that was staged.
But I can see that I think they're using such smart tactics of even if that's not real. That got me way more excited for the match. And I don't want to say that Logan is behind it, pulling the strings, but I could see him bringing up these ideas to Triple H or to whoever, being we could shoot a fake, we could get into an altercation here just at the practice center, because he has that video making mindset of what will get people talking, and I think they're really using that to their advantage of because normally if they do that stuff, it's they're in the parking lot or something, but this is I've never seen a Performance Center breakout fight like that, so I'm just excited for this match. What do you guys think?
So the thing with Logan Paul is, am I the biggest fan of a guy who just came to the business taking that U.S. title off of guys that have been in the business for many years. No, I'm not.
Right.
But I do have to see what he's done recently. It has been very good for that title because previous title holder before him was Rey Mysterio, and before that was Austin Theory, and they didn't. Much as I love Rey, they didn't really do anything for the title. It came to the point where the U.S. title of the big four titles, like singles titles for the men's, it was by far the least important for my mind. Nothing was done for it. Like the tag titles were way more important than the singles U.S. title.
I agree.
And it's unfortunate, and it's not against Rey. I don't think it's his fault. I will say, listen, I love Rey Mysterio to death. He was literally my favorite wrestler. I have more Rey Mysterio figures and stuff than I have any other wrestler. But I really do think he's just wrestling out the rest of his days. He's definitely not in his prime anymore. He can still put on a great show. His matches are never boring. But I'm going to be honest, I agree. I just wasn't interested in what was going on there. It felt very just like, okay, let's give it to a Hall of Famer here.
Yeah, I think Rey still has the ability to put people over.
Yeah.
But being the main guy to hold that title, I don't think it's...
Yeah, I would agree.
No, them taking that title off of him was a smart decision, especially the way they did it, because they know for a fact Logan Paul's a heel. I could never see him as a face, even when they tried to bring him in originally as a face. It did not work.
No,
they brought him in as a face with The Miz. As far as at least what I think was going to happen is I don't like that Logan is not defending the title like it should be.
Yeah,
that might change though because they hinted on not Twitter. X, God forbid.
Yeah.
That they did sign like an extension with Logan Paul. So it looks like he's going to be there a little bit more regularly, which if that's the case and if he keeps up the pace that he's going at, I would not mind seeing because he's just bringing so much heel heat to that title where I actually if he drags us out to Mania, if not a little after, that would probably bring much needed attention to that title.
So what I was going to say was I don't think he's going to drop this title.
No way.
I mean, it's kind of unpredictable because
it's Kevin Owens.
And Kevin Owens, more than anybody, deserves that title because that man puts on a show every time.
Oh my God!
I mean, he is a fighter.
Literally.
How I think it's gonna go is, Kevin Owens is probably gonna carry about 90% of this match, and then insert Austin Theory and Grayson Waller.
Oh, dude, I'd be so annoyed.
And then Logan Paul wins by some random act of cheating or luck.
No, he's gonna cheat in the most heel fashion possible for him. Like, even
he did that against Rey Mysterio.
Oh yeah, like when Santos Escobar put the knuckles on the mat on the ring and basically he picked it up. Hit Rey, and he was like, "Congratulations, man! You put a great fair match." And Rey was like, "I know what you did. I know what you did."
I don't know what you're talking about, but I think Logan Paul is going to have some backup plan that somebody's going to interfere in some way.
Okay,
it's going to be one of his fans.
And the only reason I say Grayson Waller and Austin Theory is so you can push back Kevin and Sammy after this. After this pay-per-view.
Do you think Sammy's going to go back to SmackDown?
I don't know.
Because I can't see Kevin Owens going back to Raw because they put him on SmackDown for a reason. So because I think Sammy's good. Oh, we'll get to that. But you think they're because I could see Grayson Waller and Austin Theory getting involved in this.
Okay, now hear me out. Another just name I'm going to throw out in terms of interference. What if they get Jake Paul involved? People have been talking about it. Do I think they're going to try to make Jake Paul a roster member? No, I don't think that would ever work.
No, you can't. You've seen how bad his performance was at Crown Jewel.
Right, and I think, when they got KSI involved at WrestleMania, I thought that was cool. He was in the Prime Bottle outfit, and he got involved there and ended up getting
He got frog splash.
Yeah, by Logan. But, they could bring it back, get him involved a little more. Maybe as just like that posse member kind of guy. Kind of like how I feel like JD McDonough is. I don't get his placement in that. Anyway, I don't think they should give a main roster position to Jake Paul at all, but it would be cool to see just the involvement again, and the whole brother part of it would really add up more intensity. But I would agree with you guys. I don't think he's going to drop it. I don't think it's going to be a fair fight. Some shit's going to happen. I don't know about Kevin Owens carrying though, because I feel like Logan puts on good performances.
So the thing with Logan is, for the longest time, they would pre-choreograph his matches.
Like a ton. You got extra practice and stuff.
They would have to practice a lot more beforehand because Logan Paul didn't really know how to call a match by himself.
Right.
And so what they would do is they would pre-choreograph a lot of his stuff.
Again, I'm totally on the side of the guys who've been doing this for years and years and years. I don't think Logan Paul's like a veteran. I don't think like he should have really got the title before people like LA Knight, who has never won a title and has been in the company for like 14 years or something crazy. But he's doing a good job.
He's doing a good job. He's gonna. I really think, as much as I hate to say, he's what that title needed at this point in time.
Yeah, I would kind of agree. I think they could have done it with people who have been on the roster, but he's definitely done it well. That's really kind of all I can say on that match. I don't really have much more.
I want to say we're probably going to see 1 to 2. Like, we're going to see Logan Paul improve with every match that he does.
Yeah, I would agree. And if he is more consistently involved, I think it'll be best for everybody. So the 4-way.
Yeah, 4-way. Yeah, I'm down.
No, the Fatal 4-way. Obviously, I think we're all kind of on the same mindset which is probably where they want us to be at this point, that Roman's not dropping it, right? How in the world? I'm sure we're going to be just livid sitting there watching this, because let's be real. The past maybe 4 or 5 people who have faced Roman for this championship are capable people of taking it, but nobody ever gets a fair shot at it. Now we're putting up 3 at the same time who don't even necessarily have to pin Roman Reigns to win the championship, which is what makes it so dangerous. Somehow we're gonna end up and here's what I think they've been playing on really well, but I also hate it. Last night, Randy and AJ Styles, they vowed to, or was it was 2 of them, 2 of those 3, they vowed to take the championship off Roman. But even when they were in a 3-on-2 match against the Bloodline,
Solo and Jimmy.
Yeah, they can't get along. I think they're gonna get so blinded by their rage and start fighting each other rather than focusing on the goal of actually getting the title off Roman Reigns, and it's gonna end up just helping him in a way, because they're gonna fight each other, get caught up in it, and then Roman's gonna get the pin in a weird they're not looking or paying attention, or they're off, fighting each other, and then
they're building for AJ Styles, LA Knight a good bit.
Yeah, there's some weird hatred there, and then Randy's kind of just in the middle of it.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Fatal 4-ways are no DQ.
Yeah. So it's gonna be.
So you're gonna get Solo and Jimmy.
Oh, 1,000,000%. Yeah. Which, even if it wasn't no DQ, we'd still get Solo and Jimmy, because Roman Reigns has not had a fair fight. And, they really want us to despise Roman Reigns and just want him to lose that freaking title. It's working. But he's not going to lose it here. It's just more hype. They're getting it closer and closer. They're pushing the line farther and farther. We're no longer doing a one-on-one, because everybody knows that is impossible to win. But now we got a Fatal 4-way, so it gives you that slight tinge of hope of maybe, but I don't really know how they're gonna do it, but he's not gonna drop it.
No, he's not dropping that title, especially if it's not in the main event.
Exactly. Yeah.
And when it comes to actually people being able to threaten that title between the 3 challengers we got, Randy's been the one that's been built the strongest during this feud.
Yes.
And I think the reason why they're doing that is they don't want Randy to take a pin just yet.
I wouldn't either. I mean,
because they just brought him back and they want him to be strong. So,
and LA Knight and AJ have both taken pins like semi-recently.
So now your question isn't like who's winning; it's who's taking the pin.
Yeah.
And another thing to add to this match is the in-ring chemistry that AJ and Randy always display.
Oh,
always
yeah.
knowing each other.
Yeah, true. They're very good at like
So I can see like AJ might be fighting Roman dips out the backside of the ring, and then AJ just immediately turns, stares Randy dead in the eye.
Yeah.
Setting up for an RKO.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think it'll be a really great watch, but
it's not.
He's not going to drop it.
No, he's not dropping it. It's just a matter of this match is going to be used to, one, make sure Randy doesn't take a pin and doesn't look weak, like just coming out, and they're going to use it to build up more AJ versus LA Knight is what they're going to use it for.
Yeah, I could see those two getting into it, and then like Roman somehow getting the win off whoever
screws up the last.
Yes, yeah,
and I don't want to see LA Knight take the pin.
I don't either.
It's just you can't have Randy take the pin.
And AJ just more recently came back.
AJ just came back,
and he looks like he's yeah. He looks good.
He looks so like it's just whoever takes that pin. Like, I'm afraid of them losing momentum.
Whoever takes this pin is getting sent to the mid-card.
I don't want it to be LA Knight, man.
I would see it going to the high mid-card. LA Knight, he has a real good chance of going on to, say, take on for the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title, which I don't think they really haven't built anybody that I care to see take that title from Gunther.
Until Seth Rollins, which we also need to touch on this, came back to talk about his future in the WWE with his like actual injury of his knee. Gunther came out and they had a confrontation, and he was like, he started out complimenting him and then was like, good luck, you're screwed. And Seth seemed pretty set on like, I'm going to take and defend this, but I think that's more of Gunther going after Seth than it is Seth going after Gunther.
Yeah, but if they do that, then there's going to be
title for title, or
it's going to be title for title.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to be the case. Because I told you I had my reasoning for this. So I think this goes back to long-term booking that Triple H is known for.
Yeah,
and the reason why they're planting that seed now of Gunther going after Seth, so that when Seth comes out with the title at WrestleMania, hopefully if he gets back in time, which it's looking like he's going to, is they want Gunther to win that title in Berlin, at the Bash in Berlin, like August 31st.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's the same thing they did with Becky and Rhea. Triple H is known for doing this. I don't think Gunther's winning the Rumble. He's going to be dominant like he was last time. They're just planting that seed of like once Gunther drops that Intercontinental title, say it probably Mania or something else, they're going to have him go on a tear and eventually take on Seth to win that title at the Bash in Berlin.
Yeah.
Is what they're setting up.
Anyway, back to Fatal 4-Way though.
True.
I do have an I wish.
Okay.
So what I would love to see happen, I think it would be great storytelling, especially with the recent appearance of him. They brought back The Rock. So, this is just a thought I had that it's never going to happen, but it was just an interesting storyline that could be really good. Is if Roman, he ends up winning the match, afterwards, The Rock comes down to congratulate him, quote unquote, drops him, And then they've been not. If you really want to throw everybody off, Damian Priest has been going after Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, he goes.
He comes in.
He takes Roman's title. Roman blames The Rock. Sets up the WrestleMania match that everybody's been wanting. The Rock versus Roman Reigns for the head of the table. I
agree that'd be a good way to do it, but then again, like, what? Like, that's really going to throw off the whole...
I have a thing about that. So,
okay.
Remember when they had John Cena versus The Rock at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
They announced that match a year in advance.
Right.
So, The Rock is also in the same boat of Triple H's. He likes longer term storytelling. Yeah. So I don't think we're gonna get The Rock versus Roman at this WrestleMania. I think we're gonna get The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 41.
Okay. I could see that.
Like I said, that was just an I wish.
Oh yeah, I wish. Because like I'm concerned about Damian Priest, and we can cover that.
You say that, and I feel like my immediate reaction was to be like, that would throw off so much stuff, but not necessarily, like, because then it could be Cody Rhodes versus Damian Priest for WrestleMania to finish the story, but we could also still get Rock versus, I agree. I don't think they're going to do that, but it could be cool. That would be awesome.
It was just a storyline that
it'd
be really cool to see that, but
there's.
I was going to ask about that, though. What do we think about... Again, it makes it tough because Damian Priest, I hate how they've been... I hate it, but in a good way. I hate how they've been doing the, he's going to cash it. Oh, just kidding. I'm like, dude, just cash it already. But now with Seth Rollins being injured and stuff, that's not going to be on the line anymore. Is he just going to change it up and go for someone else and waste his opportunity? Or...
I don't want to see them what they did with Austin Theory and basically have him cash in on the mid-card title and fail. I don't.
Yeah, that was
I don't know what they're gonna do with that because I don't think they're gonna have. And we'll get to this at the Rumble. Unfortunately, I don't think Roman's losing. I think they're.
No, I don't think either.
He's not losing that title until he breaks Hogan's record. And that makes me really concerned about Priest because I don't want another failed cash-in. I can't remember the last time a men's Money in the Bank cash-in was successful. I'm just really concerned about it.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. They might just have to play it off.
Money in the Bank's not that far off because...
Yeah, when would that be? May or June?
I'll tell you here in a second.
Yeah.
It was... 2021, Big E won the Money in the Bank and cashed in on Bobby Lashley.
Okay,
and obviously he lost to the Brock Lesnar.
To Brock Lesnar, yeah.
Every Black champion has lost the championship to Brock Lesnar.
It is the weird meta.
And before that, it was The Miz who stole the
Money in the Bank from Otis.
Off of Otis.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was how do you even... That's... kind of
because during that
cheap.
Money in the Bank match, they probably actually dropped it.
Right. Yeah.
And Otis was just, oh, okay.
Yeah,
They either dropped it or went, wow, we really don't want to push Otis. It was one of those two things.
And where they put Otis right now, I would say it was, they really didn't want to push
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
The big match.
Men's Royal Rumble.
Pull up the entrance that you got up on there. So that's
The confirms.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot more men's confirmed than there is.
Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, obviously. Those are the two big ones. Shinsuke Nakamura, who hasn't been really talked about or seen in a little bit.
Not since Rollins was off the air.
Yeah. Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, which I think will just add to his I'm depressed and nothing goes my way storyline. Gunther, that's going to be interesting. Chad Gable, Otis. That will be a clear little team-up thing.
Akira Tozawa. I love me Tozawa.
He's also on that team, and I love it.
Oh, yeah, he is.
I love Tozawa,
true.
Man.
Yeah, he's great. Kofi Kingston, Damian Priest, Santos Escobar, R-Truth, Carlito,
Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller also theory. Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, so you...
They've announced over half of this Rumble.
Just in that list right there, there's 3 team ups.
Yeah, there's
You got Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Chad Gable. Then you got
Grace.
You got your
Damian Priest and
I would
our
imagine,
truth will try to
No.
team with him.
What I see happening in that this is just would be great comedic storytelling for these guys because this is what they do. Akira Tozawa and R-Truth in the ring at the same time.
Oh, that'd be lit.
Their history in 24/7 championship.
That would be lit.
On top of that, they're both in their own factions,
Yeah.
quote unquote. So just put them both in the ring, have them stare down at each other, and let them go at it.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be so funny to watch.
Yeah, there are going to be a decent bit of team-ups, though. You're right.
And Grayson Waller, Austin Theory, obviously, is going to be a team-up. For whatever reason, they're putting these 2 guys together.
Because they're both together. They do work really well together because they're both annoying a-holes.
So, I had this thought. This is another thing that just popped in my head where I was like, man, this would be so cool if it happened. But it won't happen. Wade Barrett's a commentator.
That would be crazy.
Let Grayson Waller just mouth off to Wade Barrett before he goes into the ring. The next entrant, Wade Barrett, goes in, bull hammers him, tosses him over.
That did happen one year. All the commentators were in the match.
That's what brought it up because I was watching a clip on like Booker T.
Yeah, Booker T.
I'm like, he was in a Royal
Michael
Rumble.
Cole and Jerry the King.
Yeah, but I'm like, that'd be so cool to watch Wade Barrett just dump Grayson Waller over, but still get dumped by Austin Theory. So you can push those 2 away just a little bit more.
That would be cool.
And it gives Wade Barrett something to do because he deserves to be back in the ring. I love Wade Barrett.
I got some names. Again, very, far-fetched, a lot of these. I mean, this one, it really isn't. The Rock. He has shown his face a bit. He could just be involved. Do I think he's going to, win it? No.
He did just get named to the board of directors of TKO and WWE.
That's true, too, which I think is great. I don't know. I love The Rock. I
don't think he'll be in there.
No.
I don't think he's going to be in the
Okay, just throwing it out. John Cena. Could be his chance to kind of come back, get some momentum. He needs to, I don't think he's done.
He's not done. It's just...
I think it's coming up on it. I think he needs a final hurrah. I would love if somehow he could win the United States Championship one more time.
If it is going to be his final hurrah, they should do something along the lines of set up a match with him versus Drew McIntyre.
I'd be cool with that.
Let that match, let John Cena put Drew McIntyre over, get him out to come out of his sad boy phase.
I hate that because I loved when Drew McIntyre was face.
And if you want somebody to put you over, John Cena's.
Oh my God, yeah. John Cena's literally. I know they're calling him the GOAT now, but in my opinion, he is definitely the GOAT. Yes, there are many greats. I think The Rock's up there. Stone Cold Steve Austin. But God, Cena. For my era, at least, of watching it and where I grew up and being a 25-year-old right now, Cena has just done it for me over and over again. He has been, wow. Anyway.
I would agree, but yeah.
I would love to see him involved somehow.
But if he does enter the Royal Rumble and he wants this to be the last hurrah, because, the WWE's famous for, win or get out matches, pretty much.
Win or retire or whatever.
Win or retire. He could really put McIntyre over to get him out of this stale.
I don't even find it. I personally don't find it stale.
I don't like it.
I find it more directionless.
Yeah. It's just it's pointless.
That was the word I was thinking.
Yeah,
because the only direction I could see him going right now is he's feuding with Damian Priest, and after that, I don't know what McIntyre does.
I do think he got screwed out of some positions, but I'm dude, It just feels like he's gone back 10 years to what he used to be in the WWE, where it was just like, dude, what is your point? Like
when he was in 3MB with
Jinder
Mahal,
I was like, bro.
Slater.
Yeah, I loved when he was coming back and he was going to be the White Knight to, like, take down Gunther and all that. Like, I was like, dang, let's go. And I could get behind that. It's tough for me to even be I'm just like, dude, boo-hoo.
And
like, move on.
Right now, it kind of reminds me of where John Cena was before he put all his time into film career, where he was just kind of like, no direction.
Yeah.
They couldn't put him over because he'd get really over.
Yeah, but, like on accident. Yeah.
But you don't want to put him down the card any further than he is.
I don't see any specific thing that you can do with him aside from
Gunther.
I was going to say Damian Priest because, like, he can't go after the Intercontinental title.
I mean, if he would...
I think he missed it with the Intercontinental. I don't think he goes back there.
Drew versus... why is the faction name slipping my mind?
Judgment Day?
Yeah. Drew McIntyre versus Judgment Day, considering they were together for War Games.
Yeah, that's where his story's really lying right now. I could see it. Like, he's not winning the Rumble. He'll end up in the Chamber, I'm pretty sure. He's gonna get pissed off because he got eliminated from the Chamber.
Yeah, of course. Just fuel it, you know.
I don't know what you do with Drew at this point.
You could just have him just lose it, and kind of go down a route of just instability, which he already kind of is, but he could just lose it.
So actually, that just gave me a good idea for it. Is if he loses it, beats Damian Priest, and messes up Finn Balor.
Mm-hmm.
Finn Balor challenges him. Demon versus...
yeah, that could be sick. I mean... I miss Finn Balor Demon, yeah.
The Demon King.
It's just the last few times that they've had Finn Balor been the Demon, they haven't put him over.
Well, the last time it was against, Bray Wyatt? No, Roman Reigns.
It was the last time was against Edge.
At WrestleMania.
And he lost. Yeah. And he toughed that out. They put staples in his head
mid-match.
Damn match, and they didn't put him over Edge.
Yeah.
When Edge didn't need to win that. And then the last time before that, it was versus Roman Reigns, and they had this whole thing doing the coup de grace, and then the ropes.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was really weird. The whole entire arena went red. I was like, cool, okay, he looks unbeatable. And the thing that stops him isn't like Roman Reigns countering. It's not this. It's just the ropes just give out, and then Roman takes over and finishes them off. They have done Finn Balor so dirty, and they've basically given him the tag team titles.
I will say, we're getting off the Rumble as tad, but it is important to talk about these people. I do think Finn Balor was really squandered. The injury really fucked his
career.
Yeah, I really think it did.
Yep.
Nobody's fault, of course. Seth, just a total accident. But, God, man, he had so much potential. He still does, but I feel like he's so not used up to the potential.
Right now, he is literally just like the placard that holds the title.
Yeah, and unfortunate
because
loss.
I have Judgment Day is, other than Priest, is fully reliant on Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, 100%.
If you took Rhea Ripley out of that scenario, Damian Priest would be okay. Dominic and Finn would falter.
I would agree. Trying to follow the same storyline. I think Dominic Mysterio is actually kind of legendary. The amount of matches he's been involved in, the amount he's made people just despise him. He cannot even get a word out without being overpowered, booed. I think he was I think Shawn Michaels even said he was his MVP of this past year.
Oh yeah, he's top 5.
That man's put in work. I think if they let him do his own thing, he'd succeed. I do agree with you though that Rhea Ripley is kind of carrying it.
I could see him succeeding super well in because he does do a good job of putting over his opponents.
Oh yeah,
and he did that very well with the North American title, in my opinion.
Yeah, yep.
I think he did so well down in NXT, bringing up the next generation.
I think that was a great use of him too, because it's not too much of a legend to like.
He should have started in NXT.
He
should have.
The reason they gave him that many matches is because they liked him as a heel outside of like getting out of his dad's shadow. So they sent him down to get that work.
Yeah.
How many shows a week?
I will say that was a great heel turn, as upsetting as it was to witness.
Oh no, dude, I love.
Oh my gosh,
dude, I watched that with my dad. And Rey Mysterio whipped out that belt and started spanking Dom, and my dad was like, ha ha!
I think it was a great turn. I love it. I love it.
Meanwhile, I was having flashbacks.
Oh, God.
Just kidding.
Okay. What else do we got on here?
Well, we still have to say who we think's going to win the Rumble.
I got 2 more names I want to throw in there, and then we'll talk about the actual,
who do we think's gonna win? Who do we want to win?
This, it's been talked about, thrown around a little bit. I don't know if it's possible. I was pretty positive it wasn't, but people are so stuck in the, hey, never say never mentality. Don't get me wrong. I would be as hyped as any other person. Big E.
I would love that.
I would love
Big E to come back.
Oh my gosh, I'd be thrilled out of my mind.
I know he said on Twitter, people have asked him about it, and he said, I want to make sure I'm safe. That doesn't mean he's never said he's not ready.
True, because when Edge first retired, it was like, I genuinely can't. I'm out. And he came back.
So, I thought about another, this would be awesome. New Day is currently feuding with Imperium.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big E comes back into the Rumble and dumps Gunther.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Because Big E was also a huge powerhouse.
The way I just pictured it would be Imperium.
Oh, man.
And all 3 of them, Gunther and the other 2. And then the New Days, they're just Xavier and Kofi. They're getting their asses handed to them.
Big E comes in.
Big E's music hits.
Dude, hear me out. This would be just absolute dream, and I would be so happy with this. Big E comes back. They start that Imperium feud. Eventually, down the line, Big E is the one to take the Intercontinental Championship off Gunther.
If Big E could carry that title.
100%. When he was...
100%.
Oh, my gosh.
He did not get the time with the WWE Championship that he deserved.
And people loved it. People loved him with the WWE Championship, but I agree. Didn't get the time that he deserved with it.
No. Even when...
Brock Lesnar.
Even when they had that fatal 5-way with him.
Yeah.
And he was the one person that did not need to be pinned. And, of course, who's the one that got pinned last week because...
Dude, I would be... so hype if Big E's music hits during this.
Well, it's all the same as the New Day. It's you're basically waiting for the New Day music to hit 3 times.
Yeah.
It's the New Day. Yes, it is.
Yeah, dude, I'd be out of my seat for sure. One last thing to talk about. Huge rumors online. I talked to you lightly about it. I would be very excited about it, but I would also think it would be a bad move. Again, I could be very wrong. I'll get into it. MJF is no longer on the AEW roster. Now, if MJF and him and Cody Rhodes, they're buddies. They're in cahoots with, just not cahoots. That might not be the right word, but they're friends. They've talked. Cody Rhodes has stated he sees a time where MJF could be coming to the WWE. And this was a while ago. Now, MJF is so huge. He is what is even guys who don't keep up with AEW have heard of MJF and seen his stuff because his character work is just
dude, MJF has
chef's kiss incredible.
MJF has gone on the AEW stage and sung with a band and shit.
Yeah,
and I love MJF. Do I think he's... and I will share what I think.
Yeah.
It's like you said, removed from the AEW roster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did... That's a very...
move type thing.
Yeah,
Get people
it's
talking.
A work.
Yeah.
I think it's a work. I don't really keep up too much really at all with AEW. But I heard removed from AEW roster. I was like, it's a work.
Yeah.
Like he just, I know.
Well,
just dropped the title to Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
Probably going to give him a little break.
I mean, I will say, I don't keep up with AEW either, but the storyline they just had happen there, they had this mystery character coming in, this devil character, and like fucking shit up, and they're like, who's the devil? Whoa. And MJF and Adam Cole maybe were like real close, best of best friends, like super cheesy, just bromance love, but like everybody was so for it, right? MJF versus Samoa Joe. MJF loses, drops the title. The Devil's like people show up, right? And they all surround the ring. Adam Cole and MJF are like, they grab Adam Cole and they're like getting him down. They're gonna like hit him with a chair, and MJF's like, no, hit me. Don't hit him, hit me. And he's fighting back. Lights go out. Lights come back on. They're all surrounding Adam Cole, and then he just sits down on a chair in front of him. And he's the devil, Adam Cole. And they all turn on MJF. MJF just is like absolutely shattered, bottom of everything, destroyed. Made this big post online about like, there are going to be a lot of rumors here the next few days. I will, talking about AEW, his thoughts. And then boom, he's off the roster. Do I think it could be a possible time for him to go to WWE? Yes. Do I think he would thrive in WWE as much as he deserves? No. WWE right now is so full of main event, like, superstar people that I don't think he would get the spotlight he deserves. And in the fact that his character is so just, like, swearing on the mic, not afraid to say anything, and he can't do that in the WWE, like, with where it's at. It's more of a family-friendly type vibe.
It's a work.
Would I be excited? Of course. I love MJF. I think he's magnificent. I think it'd be lit, but I think he would get underused.
Yeah, it's a problem because even when I think underused, I look at this roster and everyone's talking like I talk about a Sami Zayn return, which we mentioned earlier.
Yep.
I look at that and I go, what exactly are you gonna do with Sami Zayn? No one's leading up to Mania because, like, if he's losing to Paul tonight, like, what's he gonna do next? Like,
right.
There are certain guys on this roster where I can predict where they're gonna be like by WrestleMania time with 100% confidence. Like Santos Escobar and Carlito, like that's gonna lead to like some match with like Rey Mysterio involved probably. Like I can tell like that they're building that up for Mania. When I look at Sami Zayn and I look at Kevin Owens, the path to WrestleMania for what they're probably going to end up doing, I can't make out because this roster is so star-studded and there's only so much time on TV.
Exactly.
To really share that, where I don't know what they're going to do.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. It is just so full of really like strong characters.
You still have Randy Orton. You still have AJ Styles. You still have LA Knight.
They got too many big people. Yeah, I don't even CM Punk coming in. Like I didn't think about it initially, and I think he is getting used very well right now. But like that is another huge name that you just brought
CM Punk threw a big monkey wrench. A good monkey
I love it. Yeah.
Like in plans that I thought were going to happen by Mania.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he changed the entire
100%.
landscape.
I mean, I
thought Reds was taking this before CM Punk came in. I'm like I was already looking up to the Royal Rumble, and then Punk came back. I'm like, well, that changed that.
Yeah, I mean, and I am the biggest Punk. Like I'll stand behind him no matter what. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of him. He trash talks, but whatever. I love Punk. I loved him back before he left. I loved him after he left. I loved seeing what he was doing in AEW. I loved when he didn't wrestle at all. I love the guy. That is somebody who I've never unfollowed on social media.
I loved when he got his ass kicked in UFC.
Oh, that era. Oh.
I even love that he did that because you know what? He went out there, he gave it a shot. I could never fucking do that. He gave it a shot and he was like, yeah, it's not my thing.
But it's
whatever. Respect to the guy.
And speaking of cards, I can predict on the WrestleMania card. So last night on SmackDown, Paul Heyman whispered in Jimmy Uso's ear and went, like, "Hey, like, the title of Tribal Chief is always taken go into the Rumble, challenge Seth Rollins, and win that World Heavyweight title. And I really think,
Heyman is a true devil's advocate.
He is a true devil's advocate, and I love that he whispered in his ear for that. They're going to start building up Jimmy versus Jay.
Oh, I hope.
They're building that up.
They got to.
I saw that, and I know they don't have Jay on this list, but there are certain names.
He's going to be in it.
He's going to be
in it, 100%.
And the moment those two face off, and just look each other in the eyes, they're eliminating each other. One of those two are gonna either it's Jay versus Jimmy, eliminate they're gonna eliminate each other.
Yeah.
And that's gonna start that big long build up to WrestleMania.
And into that WrestleMania, they could do that one of two ways, or in a way they could do that too is they go into that match at WrestleMania, say Jimmy versus Jay. Roman's and Solo just wreck house on both of them, putting them back together against the Bloodline.
I don't think, because here's the thing, Jimmy.
No, I don't think that would happen.
Yeah,
that'd be lit.
You know how
if it could.
You know how storytelling that would be wise.
Oh yeah.
These two brothers have been going back and forth at each other for so long. They finally get the match to just settle it for once and for all. And then there's Roman Reigns, being the brute king that he is, saying, neither of you are good enough for me.
I think eventually, with the demise of the Bloodline, they will make up, and I'm hoping it's in a similar way as Cody and Dusty Rhodes did in AEW. They had, just the most brutal, bloody match ever, and at the end of it, they just were like, I don't...
Cody literally said, "You're still my brother." Dusty's
oh my god, so beautiful. Such a... genuinely one of the best matches ever, I think. And if they could do something half that good with the Usos, I would be sold.
They've done a better job with Jay than they have with Jimmy. Because...
oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that heel turn that they had, I was like, why did they put him back to the Bloodline?
I don't know.
I don't see it as being sensical. I like what Jimmy's done with it. Every time I see him on screen, he's that dumbass that gets the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
His face expressions are just... I like what they've done with the character. I just don't like what they've done to get there.
I don't either.
Him walking out on the Bloodline.
So confusing. And so whiplashy.
And then coming back and then saying, I don't want you to turn into Roman Reigns. And now he's going... dude, I'm QB too.
Yeah.
I call the audible.
Yeah,
I call the hot.
I don't. Yeah. It is very. Yeah, it feels whiplashy. They're trying to put us in a bunch of different directions with him.
Jay, I would like to see Jay Uso get a title this year. A single.
I'd be fine with it. 100%.
I think because he put that at the beginning of this year. He says it's my New Year's resolution. Get my first singles title on this roster.
I think he deserves it. I think he could do it.
I mean, I could see
and heavyweight.
If they're planning on Gunther for August,
they're
taking
he's gonna have to drop that title sometime during that portion.
And I would think it would be more sooner than later.
You think? Because
I don't think he's gonna get drop it immediately at one pay-per-view and then take the WWE Championship the next. I think they're gonna want to build that up a little more before that.
Yeah, they're gonna want to build them up basically.
I would say at least 2 months, maybe 3.
So you're looking at about June.
Yeah.
But that point is when we're really gonna. So he's gonna have to drop that title about Mania.
Mania's April.
Late April.
I'm thinking
he's gonna drop that title around that time frame.
I would think Jey Uso could take that title probably around June, July.
I could see him taking that around July, because after he's done with Jimmy, it's gonna. I could see whoever takes that title off of Gunther, they're gonna have a real hard time figuring out who's gonna replace Gunther. They're gonna have a really hard time with that. So.
Yeah.
And you guys think who's gonna be capable enough to hold this title and do it right for the company.
Because they got it
And
hyped up again.
I think Jey Uso could be the guy because I think he'll defend that. Like more so like Rollins does. He'll be more so.
Oh, I love what
defending the
Roman's
title.
done with it. He's
I love what
very
Rollins
much the
has done.
John Cena vibe.
I love that he constantly defends that title.
Yep.
And he has, a quarter of the days in it that Roman does?
Oh,
And
probably not even.
More
Yeah.
title defenses?
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Rollins does that title perfect.
Oh my God, yeah. What a great person to put that
days
title
away
on.
from having being the longest reigning world heavyweight champion.
Really?
He's only 50. That world heavyweight title has been tossed around.
Good Lord, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Holy smokes.
They barely a year. Like the longest reign I've ever really heard of was maybe Batista.
Huh. That's kind of nuts.
So, and they're in this era of like long title reigns.
Yeah. Which I hate and love at the same time. I hate it because I want it to happen. But the payoff is worth it.
As much as right now I demise Roman Reigns, which is
Demise.
demise. All right.
You want to see his demise.
I despise him so much. I wanted to see his.
There you go.
demise.
There you go.
He does so well at putting guys up at that top level.
Yep. Yeah.
He does.
I mean, he was the comeback for Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes has been on top since.
Yeah. Granted, like anything they've done with Cody Rhodes afterwards, I haven't really been in love with.
I feel like there's just side quest after side quest after side quest
it's
happening.
the classic. We got to keep these guys separate until it's time to get back
I'm like,
to it.
please, for the love of God, let him finish the freaking story, man.
It's like playing Cyberpunk 2077. You got
Dude!
the main story quest, which takes about maybe 20 hours tops. But then you got another 50 hours just in side quests that help build your character and everything.
He's on.
I enjoy watching him wrestle. I don't necessarily care who it's against, but I do want him to finish this freaking story, man.
It's Triple H booking.
I love it. You know what?
Because he's shown up on SmackDown before when he had those tag titles and like they had that whole face off of Roman, and then they just went their separate ways.
All right, Royal Rumble. What's happening? The obvious answers are like CM Punk or Cody Rhodes win it. That's what people are like really thinking. I don't know. I would be happy, and don't get me wrong. I love LA Knight. I love Cody Rhodes. I think I would be happiest if CM Punk won it. I think it would be a big comeback. It would really put him up even harder, and it would give him a chance to really shine at WrestleMania.
I've got 3 outcomes for this.
All right.
I have a couple, but I don't have a winner for a couple.
All right. Go for it, Jake.
All right.
And then,
so number 1, Punk wins.
Yeah.
I think Punk's taking it. There.
okay.
Number 2, Cody takes it.
Yeah.
That
Second Royal Rumble win.
Yeah, and it's a nice stat.
In a row.
The last person that's won a Royal Rumble and went on to win the title in the men's division was Drew McIntyre in 2020.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And
Roman's held the title for half.
I'm sick of it.
And everybody challenges Roman.
Yeah.
God, man.
Yeah, and so this time it's going to be Punk challenging Seth. I've heard rumors that they really want that they've locked that in. Obviously, you can't believe rumors 100%.
Right.
Like, that's the direction it's going.
Yeah.
And I think that trend, unfortunately, is going to continue because I've heard rumors that they also want to eventually do Punk versus Roman at some point. I think Punk's going to... My most likely outcome is I think Punk's going to win it. They're going to build up a whole feud with Rollins, and then he's going to lose to Rollins at Mania, so that way he can lose to Gunther at the Bash. Because they're setting up Gunther versus Rollins months and months and months.
Yeah.
Rhodes, I think Rhodes, between the two of them, odds are whoever doesn't win between Punk and Rhodes is going to have to win for the rights to challenge at the Chamber. Whatever doesn't happen, the person that loses at the Rumble is going to have to go through the Chamber to get their number 1 contender spot. Because Rollins isn't going to be at the Chamber. Roman's not.
No, he can't. He literally can't.
He physically can't. Roman's not going to be at the Chamber because he's not set to be at the Chamber. So you have 2. That's really annoying because you got 2,
I know.
2 world titles. Sorry, you're getting me worked up here.
No, I get it. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Like, I know Rhea's going to be, like, the mainstay for that paper because it's Australia. Like, I get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But, so they have a backup for that. That's why they felt comfortable putting Rollins on the sideline. But Dark Horse, I don't think it's going to happen because we saw that. I really think it's going to be Gunther versus Rollins at the Bash. I could see in the case that for whatever reason they went with Gunther, that they set up Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk and just have Gunther take it if they did go that route.
That would be the start of my first point.
Yeah.
If they really wanted to push the initiative for those three guys in particular, let them be a part of the Final Four.
Yeah.
And either Punk dumps Rhodes or Rhodes dumps Punk, but immediately gets dumped over, leaving two men, Gunther and mystery. Insert mystery fourth man. Could be Drew McIntyre.
I think it's going to be Drew.
Could be Brock Lesnar. It could be whoever. It doesn't.
Well, the whole Vince McMahon thing that's been going over, like, Brock Lesnar's was mentioned in those, like, texts and whatnot, and ever since that shit came out, any plans of bringing Brock back have been, like, dashed.
Okay, so
yeah,
but in case at any point, insert mystery fourth man.
Right.
This is Gunther. Sets up Rhodes and CM Punk at Mania.
Mm-hmm. I could see Rhodes and Punk. I could see obviously Punk and Rollins.
And then the winner of that begin long storytell to SummerSlam.
I don't feel confident on anything. The thing I feel most confident about is the cliche, just like either Punk or Rhodes, and I think it's going to be Punk. But I just don't know, man. I could also see it being like it comes down to that, and it's like, oh, it's going to be Punk or Rhodes, and then some guy who like nobody was even thinking somehow gets them both out, and we're like, what the fuck?
Shane McMahon and Logan Paul were like the final.
Yeah, right. Like that type of thing where you're like, wait, what? Yeah.
Oh, what was the year Roman first won? 2015?
It was something. That the year when he had to defend the title at the in the Royal Rumble match?
No.
Or was that?
No, that was later. I think that was 18.
We'd have to look at a whole history book to get that.
2015 was the year The Rock came out because Roman was still in the rings getting demolished by an eliminated Kane and Big Show.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rock came in, helped him clear house, but Rusev was still actually in the match because he never got tossed over the top. And then immediately got eliminated. But you have the ability to push anybody over in this match.
By making them the Final Four. I think it's going to be Shinsuke.
I really hope it doesn't.
I think it's going to be Shinsuke because I'm looking at this card, and they've had Shinsuke versus Cody Rhodes for how long? And Shinsuke's whole thing is like, I'm gonna for your own good, I'm gonna make sure you don't finish the story. So like,
yeah.
So Cody's whole thing has been adversity, right?
Yeah.
So I could see Shinsuke dumping him out of the ring, and then at the Elimination Chamber, the last two people in that match being Shinsuke and Cody Rhodes gets the monkey off his back and goes off the Mania.
Yeah.
To get his match.
That could be it.
I think the person that's going to dump Cody Rhodes is going to be Shinsuke Nakamura.
I think it's going to be CM Punk that dumps Cody. But
I mean, they had that talk.
But I also
think promo.
But I'm also like kind of leaning towards, okay, they could really push this initiative with Gunther. I believe in your long story.
I feel pretty confident with you on that one.
What if it like?
Oh, Gunther's gonna be there all the way to the end.
Let me plant this seed in your brain. Gunther wins the Royal Rumble, goes to Mania, challenges Seth Rollins, loses, offers a title for title match at the Bash.
It's just a matter of this. Who do I see
No, that's just me planting a small seed in your brain of how awesome would that be.
That would be good. That'd be cool.
How great storytelling would that be? Because they would have months to just instantly and consistently bash and break each other to the point where it's just no holds bar, and they're just putting on the performance.
Oh, I could see them putting on a performance
with winner taking both the Intercontinental title and the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The last thing I want, I want the match. I agree with everything that Justin has just said. Aside from the title for title, I can't. Remember, I don't want another situation of like Roman holding both. Like, I don't want to.
Oh no! Whoever wins is going to drop one of the titles almost immediately. That would also like set up something for, say, Jey Uso come in and take that Intercontinental title without hurting Gunther.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to hurt Gunther by putting him in a match with Seth Rollins in any way, shape, or form. Those two are going to look strong.
Or Big E.
I would love Big E's the mystery fourth man.
Big E's the mystery fourth guy. He's coming out 30th.
Oh, Big E. I miss that, man.
Me too.
I miss his hip gyrating. I miss his hip throwing that coat that he always wears.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the interviews and stuff for that? Like, Big E just did it because it was funny to him.
Yeah, it is.
And he always threw it at Corey Graves.
Yeah, always throw it at Corey Graves.
And Corey's like, man, this coat is like 20 pounds, and he's just whipping it at me every time.
That's a strong guy.
Oh, no,
Big
he
E.
is.
Big E's a strong dude.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Royal Rumble's really kind of up in the air. I think it will probably be Punk. I think there are other opportunities for people to really, like...
The Rumbles where they, like, kick off a lot of the... Like, they spark a lot of
Baron Corbin, I think, really needs a fucking spark because, holy crap, that guy's been back and forth with...
He's been putting over the NXT guys very well,
yeah.
I would say. Speaking of NXT guys that I would love to see do super well, I want to see Braun Breaker in this match.
I'll be down.
Because he deserves a spot on the main roster.
They're taking their time with Braun Breaker.
And then another NXT hopeful for me is Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, he's been on SmackDown lately.
I want to see him do super well in this match. Whether it sets up a storyline or just makes him look good enough to where, okay, people are talking about him more and more.
Right.
Because it's like we said earlier, we don't keep up a lot with NXT.
The only thing I've seen from NXT has been Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin like going through that tag title like tournament together and whatnot.
Yeah,
and I know the reason why they're doing it is because they want to make sure Braun Breaker can be a face, a heel, or work in a
or
tag
whatever.
Team,
right?
Whatever they need to do. So he's going to stay down there until.
See how versatile he is.
I think Braun Breaker is like the next Batista.
Oh, he is. He is the next. Like the moment.
That's some big shoes.
He's
big enough.
And he can do it.
Yeah.
Like the moment he gets caught up, he's gonna get the push of a lifetime. It's not gonna be like other NXT call ups for the men's that I've seen. Like just get demolished or just.
You want your what's next for Kevin Owens? What about a tag team with Carmelo Hayes against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller?
Oh, please. I don't know. The Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens thing really just fell out. Like, that was sad.
What? Owens was out for a while.
Yeah, and they went different brands. And
it
was just sad.
Their moment
was
like maybe the first month after they won the titles. Maybe the first few months.
I gotta say, that match was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. Night one of WrestleMania was
insane.
Was the best.
All right, let's call it from the top. Women's.
Bayley.
Becky.
I'm gonna say Bayley as well. I think Becky is the obvious answer, and I'd be happy with that. But I'm gonna go.
Oh, I'd be happy with either one.
Right? Yeah, 100%.
Because either one, the storyline is gonna be so damn fire. And
so damn far.
and come Elimination Chamber, the other one's going to get the other title anyway.
Probably.
Or get their opportunity.
United States Championship.
Logan Paul's going to win.
Logan Paul.
Yeah, Logan Paul.
I hate to say that because I love Kevin Owens.
Yeah, me too.
But I don't think I think it's too soon for Paul to drop this title.
I would agree. Fatal 4-Way.
Roman
Reigns.
Yeah,
Roman.
Same.
It's just
All right. Men's Royal Rumble.
Punk.
I don't have a pick for this one. It's
don't. Really tough.
You gotta pick one, Justin.
You got a 1 in 30 chance, and we don't even know all the 30.
Tommaso Ciampa.
Dude, if that happens,
I would completely lose my mind.
That would be.
I'm gonna go with who I would rather see in terms of storyline. I would rather see Cody Rhodes win twice in a row, go back and whoop Roman's ass at WrestleMania.
Okay.
In a fair match. Holy shit. All right. If you guys are still listening to this, we really appreciate you guys listening the whole way through. Let us know, what we could change up, what we could do differently. If you like this, if you hated it, just, let us know something. If you had a good day, put it in the comments.
Or if you want us to talk about something else that we nerd out about,
yeah,
leave it down in the comments below. We'll get on that as soon as we.
What else are we home? There's D&D.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I'll bring the actual cards and
God. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know your thoughts or opinions on the Royal Rumble or leading up to WrestleMania. What you think is going to happen, and we appreciate it. And like Jake said, we love you more than a friend.
Love you.
I stole that from Sean Evans.
No, you have full consent to destroy me in the comments.
Roast me.